G'day folks, welcome to another Cyclone Chasers special Goldfield Ashes update. Today, the 23rd of Jan 2020. My name's Chris Nitzo. This update sponsored by our major sponsor, Townsville Sheds and Garages. Real sheds, real value. Check them out at townsvillesheds.com if you're in the market for a shed. Remember that they can deliver a shed-safe accredited shed kit Australia-wide. Folks, this is the rain. Now, we're looking for Charters Towers here. They don't label it on this map, which is a bit annoying, but anyway, we know where Charters Towers is. It's about halfway between Pentland and Ravenswood, a little bit just around there. So this looks at how much rain is going to fall between today and Monday afternoon across the region. We'll just have a quick look at the different computer models. So around about 60 to 80 millimetres by the Bureau of Meteorology's model. The UK Met, a bit less than that, 30 to 40 millimetres. The Canadians, they have given us about 10 to 20 millimetres. They're not very accurate, though, unfortunately, the Canadians. The GFS, or the United States folks, are giving us about 40 to 60 millimetres. The Germans, they're also not real accurate, and they've given us about 20 millimetres, and the Europeans, who are usually very accurate, have given us around about 40 to 60 or 30 to 50 millimetres across the region. So that's between now and Monday. The reason we're getting the rain, and it's important we understand the reason, because for those of you coming from out west into the big Goldfield Ashes weekend, the biggest cricket carnival in the world, you're going to find things a little bit difficult. Not maybe getting there, but maybe getting home. Now, we've got a low-pressure system located in the Northern Territory side of the NT Queensland border. Now, that little low is going to be creating widespread heavy rainfall across northwest Queensland. And it's also creating a very humid north to northeasterly airflow across eastern Queensland. That's why we're seeing so much rain on the radar and so much deep cloud cover on the satellite. Now, some of that rain will, of course, head to Charters Towers. Charters Towers won't be a focal point of activity, though. It will be for you, but it won't be for the weather. The expectation is the focal point of activity out around the Mount Isa district and areas further to the north. So first things first, you've got to get to the towers. Well, already we've seen some road closures that's since been reopened, but that may close at any moment's notice over the next 24 hours to the west. The road between Charters Towers and Mount Isa has been shut, has been reopened, may be shut again, depending on how much rain falls. We need to understand where the rain has fallen. So you can see here along the Gregory Highway, we've seen some good storm activity, which has resulted in 50 to 100 millimetres. So that road is getting quite hazardous, and we're going to see some big storms again today. We have, and we'll see some more storms again tomorrow. So just be aware if you're driving in these areas, even if the roads aren't closed, there will be some hazardous conditions on those roads. Across, for those of you travelling from the coast of Queensland to the mighty towers, you'll be fine. The highways are pretty well maintained. I'm not saying that these other highways aren't, but they're pretty well maintained, and they can handle the sort of falls that we've had closer to the coastline. The problem for some of you may be getting home to some of these western locations. So this is once again that rainfall between now and Monday afternoon. You can see some big falls expected across the Flinders Highway here, and also up through these developmental roads through the north. So the expectation is that we'll see over 100 millimetres in a lot of these areas. So we're going to see some pretty big rain across northwest Queensland over the next few days. And you can see just the exact areas of those really tremendous falls do differ depending on the computer models. And so we do see the potential for different areas to be receiving those extreme rainfalls. But overall, we're going to see a pretty stormy, rainy area across this region. And it's just a matter of taking it day by day to see where those heavy falls lie. What you need to be aware of is getting home, particularly if you're getting home to the west, may be a slight delay while you wait for surface water to go down. Right, so tomorrow we're expecting to see a temperature of around about 33 degrees across the towers, and then we're going to see 33 to 35s as we go into Saturday, and then as we go into Sunday, we'll see temperatures around that 34 to 35 again. As we go into Monday, those temperatures are expected to moderate, and I reckon they'll be a little bit less than this 33 that we're seeing here. So I reckon those numbers will be back down to about 30. So on Friday, we're expecting to see widespread showers and thunderstorms through the region. Saturday, the same thing. Sunday, the same thing. Monday, the same thing. And then that'll probably go into Tuesday and maybe even Wednesday as well before we start to see a clearance at the back end of the week. But at this point in time for you folks in the towers, it's going to be a showery, stormy little period this weekend. It's often difficult for computer models to agree, but there's 100% of computer models agree that Charters Towers will be getting some rain. About 90% the chance of getting some rain on Saturday. It is around about 90% again on Sunday, and around about 90% again on Monday. So the ability that we're going to see some good rain across the Towers, or some rain at least across the Towers, through the Goldfield Ashes on every single day. The good news, though, is that this rain will not always be there. So there will be times where you will be able to get games underway. This is Friday afternoon. You can see as soon as the afternoon sets in, we get some big rainfall potential across the region, particularly in the higher country to the northwest of the Towers and the areas to the west of the Towers. That appears to be the hot spot of activity tomorrow afternoon and evening. The Towers, though, you can see just on the edge of storm activity, and you certainly wouldn't be taking the modelling for gospel here, but what we can tell you with some small degree of confidence is that the best of the storm activity should be to the northwest and the west of the Towers, as opposed to the city itself. You can see that's obviously going to pose a problem to you, particularly with some of the heavier rainfall totals out towards Hughenden for surface water associated or across the Flinders Highway as you're travelling it towards the tower. So just be prepared and be aware of that, and be aware of delays. So give yourself an extra few hours to get there if you are travelling from the west. As we go into the overnight period, maybe some light patchy rain, maybe some remnant thunderstorm activity, but overall, it should be all systems go Saturday morning. There could be a little bit of cloud cover, maybe some very light patchy rain, but just give the ump a drink and you'll be right. All right, as we go into Saturday afternoon, notice here, storm activity, once again, already building up by 4 p.m. and quite widespread. Once again, northwest of the Towers, west of the Towers, they're going to be the hot spots of activity, and you can see that activity continuing to rage on into Saturday night. We're still going to see some light patchy rain. Even if we don't get the storm, we'll still see some light patchy rain over the top of the Towers coming off the anvils of those storms. As we go into Sunday and into Sunday afternoon, we're going to see some big storms. Now, the interesting part about Sunday is that we'll see storms well to the west, we'll see storms to the northwest, but we might even actually start to see some good storm activity building up on the coastal ranges to the northeast towards Townsville and out towards Ravenswood, and some of that activity may shift southwestwards towards Charters Towers and affect you on Sunday afternoon. And you can see the rainfall totals there are tremendous. So if one of those sits over the top of the Towers for an hour, you'll get 50 mils out of that, no worries at all. So that's the threat. Is on that Sunday afternoon that one of those big cells will pop right over the top of the city. If you don't get that, of course, it's very patchy, as you know, in North Queensland right now. Atherton today had heaps and heaps of millimetres, and just up the road, Mareeba, not so much. So that'll likely mean that some of the fields you'll be playing on will cop an absolute bucketing, and some of them will miss out completely, and you'll be going, what the hell's this Nitso bloke on about? We haven't had a drop of rain here for 2 days. Well, that's unfortunately the case of this patchiness of this storm activity. But I'll tell you what, your mate down the road might have got 50 or 100 mils out of it. So just be aware that just because it doesn't happen over your one field doesn't mean it's not happening somewhere else on someone else's field. So just be aware there's 79, I think, around 79 fields going on out here. So, and it's not just in Charters Towers. There's fields around Charters Towers as well. So just be aware that while you may not get some over the city, someone else in one of the other fields may be getting an absolute bucketing. As you can see, quite a bit of lightning going on across the region too on every one of these days, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And so just be prepared and be aware. Count to about 30 or 45 seconds after a lightning strike, and then if you hear the thunder, you're probably in a bit of a danger zone for potential lightning strikes. Right, as we go through into Sunday night, possibly some light patchy rain occurring, and into Monday, the expectation is once again some heavy rain from thunderstorm activity is expected to be around. Once again, very patchy. The heavy falls are going to be very patchy, and don't take the modelling for gospel. Slight changes in where those storms occur will result in big changes with where that rainfall does occur. So just be prepared, folks. There's going to be showers, thunderstorms throughout the time frame, but there will be breaks, and there will be times where you will be able to play cricket. There's no doubt about that. It's not just going to be a blanket-wide rain across the region. These are storms. They will have a start, they will have an end, and there will be times in between where you can play cricket. Just a safety tip, if you are camping, please make sure that you are prepared to have some sort of cover over the top of you, and also, please, if you are camping near a riverbank, please try not to. Please try and move away from that riverbank. Sometimes with these really patchy storms, you're going to find that upstream, maybe 10, 20 kilometres upstream, they might have copped 50 or 100 mils, and that's got to run off somewhere. You don't want to be that one person that suddenly finds themselves on a riverbank that is starting to flash flood. Most of all, have a lot of fun and enjoy your weekend. If you like hearing some video forecasts and you want to support what we do, head over to our website, ozcyclonechasers.com.au, click on the subscribe link, and you've got an option there of helping us, supporting us. Or you can buy a shed from our shed supplier, Townsville Sheds and Garages. Real sheds, real value. Check them out at townsvillesheds.com, and you'll get a free subscription if you buy a shed from them as well. Thanks for watching.